Hello, guys. Thank you for joining me and my guest today, Sheryl Prince. I'm so excited to have her here. We will be discussing the DOE, so that is the Department of Education, and vendor contracting with them, as well as a little bit, we may touch on minority business certifications. So we're just going to be really talking about the importance of getting certified and getting credentials, and how that can change, how that can impact your business, right? Right now, we're in an economic recession, a downturn. Many businesses and many people are struggling, right, which is causing our businesses to be impacted. And so some of us may need to pivot. And an excellent way to pivot is by going business to business and by contracting with the DOE and the government, right, one of the biggest employers in the city and in the country. And so I'm so happy to have Sheryl here today with us. She's been in education for 15 or 16 years, and she pivoted. So she was an employee with the DOE, and she has pivoted to become an entrepreneur and to do business to business contracting with the DOE. So we're going to briefly discuss some gems and some information that you should know, right? Just to pique your interest so that you can come and join us in person at our live event on October 30th, which will give way more information, and you'll be able to connect with other businesses because it is about community. Right, it is about getting resources, collaboration, and so that we don't feel alone. Another thing, a lot of us are solopreneurs or mompreneurs or first generationpreneurs, and it can be overwhelming. It could be a lot just trying to navigate this roadmap, right? Because it's not really a roadmap. And so coming together with community, we can help you get there faster. We can help you get there further and possibly faster by connecting with the community. And so happy to have her here. We're gonna let her just tell us a little bit about herself, and then we'll get into some questions.
Good morning, happy Friday, and thanks for having me. So my name is Sheryl Prince, and I am a 19-year veteran educator. I know I don't look a day over 19, but I have assumed different roles within the Department of Education. I was a school improvement specialist, I was a special ed supervisor, and I also was an assistant principal, but I left the Department of Ed in 2016 because I wanted to give entrepreneurship a go. And I'm glad that I did. And that's what I've been doing for the past 6 years. Initially, I started contracting my services out to other agencies, and then I went ahead and established my own educational consultant agency, which is Elevated Youth. And we basically support school leaders with achieving their vision of maximizing outcomes for all learners. And we do that by curating creative and exploratory workshops that are focused on boosting student achievement, cultivating student voice and leadership skills, and then also social emotional development. So I'm excited to be here and share with you guys my knowledge and experience around working with the Department of Education as a vendor.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, so thank you for correcting me as well. So I met Sheryl approximately like 3 or 4 weeks ago. She was actually vendoring at a DOE event in the Bronx. I was invited there to network, and so that's what I came to do. And just meeting Sheryl was such a pleasure because, there's so many stigmas around working with Black women, working with Black people, and it was just such the opposite. When I met with her, she gave me a wealth of information. She was willing to even work with me. She asked me if I had my vendor's account, and she even gave me a little bit of source that if you don't have your vendor's account, but you know someone that do have a vendor account, you can possibly work underneath them. And so previously, I was just online and on my Facebook page, and I was just telling them how that was just so refreshing to me that you was willing to share, the information, and that I was telling you about my events that I do, and then we were able to collaborate and connect to do this. So I'm so excited and so grateful for you doing this with me. And so we were supposed to be going live. We had some technical difficulties, so we're gonna run through this really quickly, okay? So we'll post this video, and if you have any questions, come to the event first and foremost, but you can also ask them below, and we'll try to answer them to the best of the ability. So you briefly mentioned that you were contracting with other programs. Was that part of the DOE, or when did you pivot to start working with the DOE or decide to become a vendor and work with the DOE?
So basically, I contracted my services out to agencies that provided special ed support services to charter and private schools. And I did that for about 2 years. And I learned the ropes of how to run an agency. And then that's when I made the decision. I think that was like 2018. I made the decision to start my own agency, but it was officially established in 2019. And at one point, I was working for two agencies and my own agency. So initially, it was just me providing special ed teacher support services to charter and private schools. And then over the past year or so, it has evolved to so much more because I'm an author also. I have a publishing agency in addition to my educational services agency. So I was like, I love books. The children, need books that they can relate to, and literacy is an area that a lot of schools are struggling with. So now I offer the creative writers workshops and the interactive read aloud workshops as well.
And you offer them through the DOE.
Yeah, so basically, you have to be a vendor with the Department of Education, and in order to do that, there are two ways to do it. You can self-nominate. You can do a self-nomination, or you can go ahead and have a school leader nominate you. That's the fast track to doing it. And you have to basically specify what services you offer, and then say, for example, they put out RFPs. That's a request for a proposal, and they basically outline in that RFP, like, all right, this is what we're looking for. And if you can meet that need and provide that service or program, then you can respond to that RFP, right? And then if you're awarded the contract, there's a whole process where you have to go through if you're not a contracted vendor. So you can be a vendor with the DOE, but not a contracted vendor. And a contracted vendor basically doesn't have to go through the bidding process, right? So that means that they can basically get the contract without competing against others, so to speak. And then they can also charge more than the threshold of 25K for the contract. So that's my next level, to become a contracted vendor. Right now I'm a vendor, but we're capped at 25K for program.
Okay, wait, we're gonna stop. Sorry, I'm gonna stop you because we giving source. We dropping some source that I think might need to be, because there's a lot of gems that she just dropped. So she lets you know that besides the DOE, right, you can also work with private and charter schools. That's a gem right there, y'all. Pick it up. Pick it up. She also spoke about the different income levels, right? And so if you are just a vendor, 25K, but think about what that can do for your business. Think about 2 contracts for 25. That's 50K right there for your business, right? And that's just a vendor. That's not being contracted, right? And so you definitely want to know how to get contracted. So you need to come to the event. We're not gonna let her. I'm gonna stop her. She ain't dropping all the sauce. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next question. Let me see, please. Okay, so you kind of was alluding to this. The question is, what have you personally done within the DOE and the vendor? So what I will say is that what I saw her do is, we're going to be giving you information, right? But it's up to you to use it. It's up to you to go out there and network. And what I saw her do, which was so amazing, was networking, whether it was with me, right? Knowing the higher players to network with, right? And things like that. Can you touch on that? Like, once you get the contract, what should you be doing? How to maximize it? I mean, once you become a vendor, excuse me.
So definitely you want to deliver quality programs and services, right? And then also you want to stay relevant. You want to provide value to your client base. And for me, it's more about impact and income. The income is going to come once you're making that impact. And like I said, I facilitate my literacy workshops. I also do work around civics and government with the school communities that I support. So like working with their student council, taking them to the youth summit. But I find that it is really important to, establish those relationships and maintain them. So, you should be in constant communication with the school leaders, like attending principals conferences, going to the town hall meetings, just reaching out just to say, hey, how are you doing? Going to events like the one that we met at, community resource fairs. So that's how I pretty much continue to grow my business and expand my impact by networking and just fostering those relationships.
Yeah, so I want to go back real quick because once again, the gym, the value, like so you want to start the networking relationship, start the process, but also maintain it. So you don't want to feel like you're bothering somebody or that is too much to do, because you have to be on top of mind with the network that you're creating, right? And so you want to also, like you said, the value part of it is lead with value. Don't just, always want something from your network. What can you provide? It has to be a symbiotic relationship where you both are providing something um, to the cause. And so don't let that go over your head. So that was really good information. And she also mentioned that what we met at was a community resource fair, right? Then you have um, or is it like a fair as well? Or
Yeah, so you can go to technical conferences, and you can go to the town hall meetings, the CEC meetings, any place where school and district leaders are going to be. That's where you should be networking and establishing those relationships.
Okay, good. So that's good information. So I think the last question that we'll go, because I know that we're short on time, is you mentioned that you facilitate workshops with the DOE. What are maybe two other ways that you can work with the DOE once you have a vendor contract?
That's a good question, because everyone thinks they have to be an educator or have an educational program to work with the DOE, and that's not necessarily correct. You can provide commodities to DOE, like you can provide even paper towels and paper and tissue paper, whatever. So that's one way. Then you can provide janitorial services as well. That's why it's important to go through the process, become a vendor, and then have access to the RFPs and the passport system so that you can see all of the opportunities. And guess what? When you have access to the passport system, that not only opens you up to doing business with DOE, but other city agencies. So I don't want to give away too much because we need.
That's a good thought. I'm picking it up because I'm in the process. I do have my vendor account, but I think the passport is my next step. So I'm like, okay, that's incentive for me to go ahead and get that done. And so thank you so much for your time. I think that is a big, like you said, misconception, because even for me, like I'm a financial literacy and personal finance coach. And so that's the angle that I was going at, is really teaching the youth about the financial literacy. But now I know that I possibly can even teach the staff and go there's many different routes. So I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited about the event on October 13th. I'm going to go and let Sheryl go because she has other engagements to do. And she was so gracious to just let us record this so that we can have something to show you guys and to give you some more information. And so thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. And if you have any questions or comments, put them down below in the chat. We'll go ahead and try to get to them. And if not, come out October 13th, October 30th. Also, another thing, these are investments in your business. Don't look at it as another something that you have to pay, or this is an investment in your business. It's going to be a wealth of knowledge. It's going to be community, right? You can connect with people, collaborate, maybe find your business bestie. It could be lonely out there, so you can come and find community and get the information that you need to take your business to the next level. And it's a tax write-off, so it's definitely an investment. So change your mindset, come out and network with us. We'll have light refreshments. We'll be playing a networking game in the beginning, and then we'll have Sheryl give the bomb masterclass and give us all the gems and jewels. Okay, so thank you so much for joining. Appreciate it.
And thanks for having me. And definitely, folks, come out on October 30th. Come get this information. And like Danny said, invest in your business, because scared money doesn't make any money. And I've been blessed to be able to secure 5-figure contracts working with DOE. So that's what I would love to share with you guys, how I did that. So come out October 30th. We'll see you.
See you then. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your day.